Welcome back to Brave Fence and Musashi. Last time we found out where all the Vambees were coming from, and now we're going to figure out the mystery behind these doors in the underground restaurant basement. Starting with this one right here. Okay, so the first actual room has a sliding floor with some spikes at the bottom. And the Vambees are here too, and they look pretty excited to see Musashi, probably because he's the only thing that's got blood in him right now. Well, anyways, let's get to hopping. That room down there is basically a safety net in case you fall down there in that pit. So there's no real reason to go in there. There's also not a whole lot of reason to come in here either, because it's a dead end. So that leaves us with our left and right. We'll start with the right side first. And it looks like I've got an opportune chance to get the drop on one of the Vambees. So here's one of the optimal ways of taking care of a Vambee, and it involves using the shish kebab move that we learned from Clown Weenie. And as you can see, it does a lot of damage to Vambees, more than enough to outright kill them. And the main reason why you want to use that move as opposed to fighting them head on is because each Vambee has two halves to them. You can take out the bottom half of their body and they can still fight you. Not to mention, Vambees have a really long reach, so they can actually grab you from far away and still do damage to you, which makes it a very terrible idea to fight them head on. So you're going to find out that all these different rooms in this dungeon have a gimmick to them, and the gimmick for this room is darkness, which means we have to rely on different sources of light in order to navigate through these rooms. Like, for example, this giant ball of fire that bounces around the room. It will burn you if you touch it, so you need to be careful about that, but other than that, it's your only source of light, so you have to be really careful around it. Hey, look, a bento field. Stick to growing rice, dude. Well, progress wasn't that way, so let's try the other side and see if that leads to progress. Oh boy, it's one of these. So if we pick the right teleporter, we actually progress in the maze, and if we pick the wrong one, we go back to the entrance of this dungeon. So, after much meditation, Musashi decided to go with the right teleporter. And it looks like we picked correctly. What the hell? So, now we switched off from fireballs to very malicious bats that like to attack you and drop lanterns on top of your head. Now we could try to deal with it and just tank the shots and try to get through it as fast as possible. Or we could absorb a Vambee, which gives us an ability that will help us. Which gives us the ability BO, which makes our flesh stink. And it also makes flies appear on the screen constantly. But at least the bats are going to leave us alone. But it also means that the bats won't come near the ground and light up the floor, which creates another problem. So this power is kind of useless in this situation. So let's wait for it to wear off first. Alright, there we go. Alternatively, we could absorb the bats themselves, and we would get a very useful ability called Firefly, which essentially just makes fusion a light source. But we still have to deal with the bats constantly batting at us. Oh man, another teleporter room. Well, since I picked right last time, maybe we should go with the left teleporter. I picked right again. And here's the last teleporter room, and I think they're trying to psych me out by making me pick right again, so I'm gonna pick left instead. We are now in the room where we were at a dead end, but not anymore. We're now progressing to the next area. And the next area has lava in it. Also arrows, watch out. So here's all you have to do for this section. All you have to do is just keep fusion out and block these arrows, which take a while because we have to go through like 4 layers of arrows being shot at us, which is kind of boring after the first couple of times you have to do this. And it's not going to be the end of it because we're going to have to do it again later on. And here are some flamin' Vambees. They're just like the old Vambees, except they're on fire. And here's the one and only chest in this area, which has powder. And we made it to the end of this part of the dungeon. Huh. Weird looking ball. Looks like something I should smack with Lumina.
Was that right? Guess I'll go back and check.
Alright, now we're back into the main section. Let's go see if anything happened to that four-eyed door. Oh, hey, look, one of them lit up. And every time we come back here, we can get some cake from the owner. So that way we can heal up on our BP and HP. But it doesn't heal our tiredness, which we're going to have to use a mint for. Alright, let's go after the next door. Ooh, this one sounds adventurous. Also has weird plants that shoot bowling balls. I wonder if this is where the restaurant gets its peas. But that looks like a really cool ability. I think I'll have it for myself. So I wonder if you caught on to this area's gimmick, because it involves bowling, and lots of it. Also, these bowling plants are perfect for the Tenderize move, because they are stationary and they have lots of health. Oh hey look, a cracked wall. Let's see if we can bowl through that. Aha! It worked. And we found a shield. Also, these green blob things, if they attack you, you get poisoned, but luckily, if you kill them, they also drop an antidote, which is really handy. They also reform themselves into gray blobs, which don't poison you when they hit you. Not only is the bowling ability great against cracked walls, it's also great against Vambees. Also, the arrow traps are back, in full force too. I think this is going to be the last time we see them, but man, I really wasn't looking forward to having this again. Also, the firing rate on these are a lot faster than the other ones, so you have to commit if you're going to cross their stream of arrows, because if you don't, you end up in the fire and you get burned. And just in case you didn't absorb a bowling ability, you have a bowling plant right here that forces you to grab one. The heck is this? Some kind of hot plate lane? Maybe this turns it off. Or not? Well, it's time to go bowling. Line them up. Right down the middle. Here we go. Straight. Ah, dang it. There's always one left over. And they're usually on the sides, which makes it really tough to actually hit them with a bowling ball. Come on. There we go, got him. And once we knock all the Vambees over, the hot area will be turned off and we can cross. Ah, a bench filled. The dirty business. There's also another crack wall over here. Which contains another treasure chest inside, and it has an odd hat inside. Alright, well, I guess the only other place to go is to find out where all those Vambee pins came from. And up we go. Well, I guess that's a convincing argument to go through the door. Or rather, it would be if that door led anywhere. Let's turn around. So we're gonna have to figure out how to get past this flamethrower. And it doesn't seem like we can actually walk around it in any way. Though, hang on. Let me try something real fast. Aha! I figured it out. Eat this. Now to moonwalk out of here. Oh, jeez! Musashi walked into a trap. He's gonna get crushed. Wait in here. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh, no. Let's keep going. Wow, looks like it's another chance to get a Vambee strike. Alright, let's not mess this up. Ah, come on! That was perfectly down the middle. Uh-oh, party of 4. Watch out. Ah, get off of me. Let's hurry up and break this bench field. And that's the end of this section of the dungeon. Let's break that eye orb. Looks like another eye is lit up, which leaves only 2 doors left, but we're going to save those for the next video. Let's go ahead and update the memory box with our current memories.
Leave my memory.
And before we go, we got one more wall to break, which is this one right here, while we have the bowl ability available. And inside are 3 treasure chests. We'll start with this one over here. Any second now, Musashi. And we got an old sword. See what the next one is.
Man, I'm carrying too many things. Oh, what the heck. I'll use or throw something away.
And here is something that's going to come up a lot in future chapters, especially when the dungeons are really far away from the town, is our inventory space is super limited, so you're going to either have to make a trip back to the village, or you're going to have to use something or discard something. And inside this chest was a cloth, which could it be? Could it be the legendary cloth that we've been seeking? Only one way to find out. Well anyways, that's the end of this video. Tune in next time when we tackle the remaining 2 doors in the underground restaurant basement. I'll see you then.